Coming up on City Spotlight, we're on location again, this time in Arthur, at Arthur-Lovington Atwood-Hammond High School. We'll talk with the principal of ALAH, Steffanie Seegmiller, and the director of bands at ALAH, Richard Moma. We'll discuss the latest going on with different programs at ALAH, plus the recent success of the ALAH Band. We're talking all things Arthur-Lovington Atwood-Hammond High School in Arthur, next on City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com. And welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. We're on location in Arthur at Arthur-Lovington Atwood-Hammond High School. We're going to talk Arthur schools today, and in this first segment, we welcome back to the program the principal of Arthur-Lovington Atwood-Hammond High School, Steffanie Seegmiller. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
We talked last February 28th, I believe. It was a little bit warmer than it is
yes,
today.
absolutely. Absolutely.
We were in the library, and today we're taping in the band room.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk a little bit about the band program in the next segment as well.
Absolutely. The band program is one that's close to my heart. They are rock stars, no pun intended here. So they do everything well, from the Veterans Day program to the marching band to the pep rallies. So.
Okay, very good. We'll talk more about the band with you in a little bit here, and also in our next segment. This is year 2 for you here at ALAH.
Yes.
As you told our audience, you're a native of Arthur.
Yes.
How's the second year going as principal here?
It is good. It is good. We're off to a good start. It's going very fast as it's already December, and I just don't know where time goes.
Let's follow up on some things we talked about with you the first time.
Okay.
And last time we talked about enrollment, and you had mentioned that because of your high numbers at the junior high, that you were going to see an increase in enrollment.
Absolutely.
Have you seen that?
Absolutely. We were at about 286, I think, last year. This year we're about 310, give or take. And next year I think we'll go up. And then in 2 years, I'm anticipating that we'll be at a 350, 370 range. So we are growing. Those are the good problems we like to have. It means extra new teachers, new hires to expanding our programming. So we're excited about that.
And I probably asked you this last time, but this facility is able to handle that significant enrollment?
This facility is able to handle that enrollment. So, and again, those are the good problems. I like those kinds of being creative and how are we going to do this and make it work.
And you mentioned what makes this work, and we talked about the a little bit of the history of the annexation and how this is all working, is that you're able to offer more programs and classes, and you're able to. So talk about the dynamic of being able to continue to offer more and have more teachers.
Absolutely. I think one of the exciting parts for us is that we were able to expand and offer more dual credit classes, and we partnered with Eastern this year, so we're able to offer some dual credit with in math with Lakeland and a few other classes there, but really open the doors for expanding with Eastern and their dual credit program because we have the faculty, we have the students that need and want those programs. So students, juniors and seniors here are able to add credits that will transfer to any college. If they choose not to go to Eastern, they choose to go somewhere else, those credits will transfer. They're also getting high school credits, and so that really expands a lot of our offering. Everything from English to a history class to environmental science, so we're excited about those.
In addition to the dual credit class, which seems to be going on everywhere. I know Arcola's got that going on, and I can list all the other communities that we've had here on City Spotlight. Also, being a part of a lot of the communities now is the CEO program. It's a part of Douglas County, and talk about where it is this year with Arthur.
Absolutely. Arthur is a part of the Douglas County CEO program, so we're partnering with 4 other schools, and Arcola, Tuscola, Villa Grove, and Arthur. We have 5 students here in our high school, so every morning they meet off-site at 7:30. They start promptly. They're required to dress in professional attire. They the first semester goal is to create a class business. The second semester goal is to create their own business. If they make money, they get to keep that money from their individual business. They're meeting and greeting, connecting with businesses from all over the county, hearing how their businesses work, asking questions, everything from taxes and banking to employment, just all kinds of exciting things. So I am super proud of those students. They have to get up, get to those classes, then they have to come back here and finish out their day, and they're also rock stars.
Having seen firsthand how it works in Effingham, which was the launching point for a lot of the other communities.
Yes, absolutely. They've been in there 10 years.
Yeah. And seeing some of the students attend one of their on-location visits with a professional business person. There's a lot of businesses in the Arthur area, so I'm sure
there are, and I think one of the benefits is they see that how many businesses all of our small towns have, how much they can do here, and then hopefully maybe that they want to come back here when they're finished with school and start a business here or work and live here in our small communities.
The night shift, you had mentioned it was in year 1 of that?
Yes, so we are in year 2 of night shift. I think our theme on Friday night tonight is the beach. So all the students will come in the beach and they cheer and they're loud and they're organized and they're just a great part of our school spirit here.
And the unique thing about the night shift that you told me, it's student only, so has it really taken off? The students are really liking it?
The students are really liking it. They ask all the time they come through the office if they haven't heard what the theme is. What's the theme? What's the theme? So we love that. We tease them because they don't allow the grown-ups, the faculty involved. We do have a faculty sponsor, but it's really their program.
All right, very good. Night shift, moving forward, year 2.
Absolutely.
Any other programs that you'd like to highlight, or any new programs that have evolved?
I think, we have faculty that are working hard in their classrooms with their content, working hard on improving our test scores and building relationships with students. So,
very good.
Yeah.
As you can see, we have a few instruments behind us.
We do.
We're in the band room, and we're going to talk with the band director, Mr. Moma, Richard Moma, in the next segment, more in detail about the band and all their accomplishments and things that they do that encompass a band in high school. What does the band, what does it mean to this school and the community? What is the role of the band here at ALAH?
The role of the band is huge. Last year I was at one of the basketball games supervising, and I watched TV news cameramen film the pep band instead of the basketball team. And I think he tweeted something about this pep band is amazing, or, so they really are. They bring so much. So it's a great program. We have about 60 students in it right now. Something for everyone, and they're committed. I've had 2 conversations with upcoming freshmen who are giving up their athletics to make sure they're going to be a part of their pep band. So, that speaks very highly of it. I went to one of the marching band competitions this fall, and I was sitting in the bleachers, and there were people from other towns coming, and the band was entering, but they were probably a block and a half away. And someone said, "Here they come," and the entire audience turned, and you watched them mark in. I mean, it was a goosebumps moment. They were phenomenal. So.
You're drawing up memories of myself personally in Charleston in the pep band and EIU. The pep band is a lot of fun, and they almost have as much fun as the players in the crowd.
They do. They absolutely set the tone. And I think one of the things I love about our band is they can do that. The Beatles was our theme for marching band, which I'm sure Mr. Moma will share with you. But I have seen them at our National Honor Society program perform a piece of music, and I was having a hard time not crying. It was just absolutely beautiful. So the ability for them to play such a wide rapport of music is fantastic. Just what a great gift to our students that they have that exposure to.
They certainly add to the atmosphere, for
Absolutely.
sure. If not some great music.
Absolutely.
As the first part of the school year is wrapping up as we tape here, kind of in the middle of December, what are you looking forward to the rest of the school year here at ALAH?
I cannot believe the first semester is almost
Flies
over.
by, doesn't it?
It does fly by. I think one of the great culminating capstone parts is, of course, graduation, which will be here before we know it. Mm-hmm. And I think our graduation ceremony is stellar. Right before that, the last week of April, the last Saturday of April through the first 5 days of May. We take our seniors on a senior trip to Washington, D.C.
Wow.
It's been around for over 60 years here, that tradition.
Wow.
And so that I was one of the chaperones last year, and it's just an amazing experience for our students. So they raise money beginning in junior high to pay for that trip. We take charter buses. We sleep on the bus on the way there. We sleep on the way bus. I'm not sure I'm recovered yet from the trip last May, but it's an amazing experience for our students. So I think that's definitely something we look forward to.
Wow, what a phenomenal tradition.
I know.
Senior students get to, and each one of them can relate, whether they be a class of X number of years ago, but what a wonderful tradition
it is. It is, and it's something that has takeaways. They all come back. Last year we saw President Trump's motorcade. We were able to walk through the monuments at night. They work in English class to write letters and put on the Vietnam Wall, Memorial Wall, so it's just a fantastic experience for them.
Fantastic.
And of course all the fun time, playing games at night and, just being kids and kind of their last moments together.
A lot of good learning and fun times here at ALAH. Steffanie Seegmiller, principal here at Arthur-Lovington Atwood-Hammond High School. It's been a pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you for being here. Come back again.
And coming up next here on City Spotlight, we'll stay here in the band room and talk with the band director here at ALAH, Richard Moma, about the band program here at ALAH. But first, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in Arthur. And we're back here on City Spotlight. We're on location in Arthur at Arthur-Lovington Atwood-Hammond High School. We continue this episode here at ALAH High School. And we're going to talk about the band program here with Richard Moma, of the band director here at ALAH. Welcome to the program, Richard.
Great to be here.
Pleasure.
Nice
and
to talk to you.
We're in your venue here. This is home base for you. And
that's right.
We're taping right before a rehearsal, which we'll have a little footage that we'll show. So look forward to taping that.
Okay, great.
Very good. You're the band director here. You're a first-time guest here on City Spotlight. Can you tell us about yourself? How long have you been a part of the Arthur School District?
I've been a part of the Arthur School District since, I started in Lovington.
Okay.
So, which has been about 17 years ago. And I was at Lovington for a number of years. And then when all the annexations started, I more or less stayed as band director and just kind of moved along as the schools came on board. So when the school district then became Arthur-Lovington, I stayed on. When it then became Arthur-Lovington Atwood-Hammond, I stayed on. So 17 total years. I did teach previously. I'm a Millikan graduate, sorry.
No problem.
I graduated in 1978, got a job right out of Millikan and taught for about 10 years. Then I got out of teaching for a while and went into, actually, believe it or not, the restaurant business. And I was in that for a while until the hours got to be a little much. So I decided maybe teaching was more to my liking anyway. That was my first love anyway, was being a music teacher. So I got back into teaching again. So.
And you're currently the band director here at ALAH High School, but you're also you came from the grade school this morning. So tell us about your different hats.
Well, I have 3 buildings that I'm responsible for. I'm responsible at Arthur Grade School, and it's also the junior high. Right. There are actually three feeder schools into the high school program. Right. So I am the director at 2 of those 3. Okay. I am the director at the Arthur Grade School with their 6th grade band and also their junior high band. And I'm also the band director at Lovington, and I do the Lovington 5th and junior high band down there. So those 2 schools feed into, as does Atwood-Hammond School. It feeds into this one too.
So I'm sure for you, with being involved with the younger bands up through the high school band, you're able to see some of the students grow through the years. What's that process like to see kids grow?
It's the most, maybe one of the most rewarding things you can do as a band director, is to see that kid from raw form, from not even knowing which end of the horn to blow into, all the way up to some of the quality that you get with some of these high school students are just amazing at what they can do. So it's a process, and it's a nice rewarding process because you get to see students from the start to the finish, And then when they graduate, then of course it's sad too, because then you've had them for so many years, and then to have them graduate, it's like, how do I replace that student? Well, you always do replace those students that graduate. So
that person for band terms, if they were fifth chair their junior year, they might be first chair their senior
That's
year
right.
if the first chair graduated.
It's
so just step up.
It's a constant growth from start to finish for these students. So, and that's a real rewarding experience as a band director.
Very good. You're here in Arthur at ALAH High School, and I'm sure the annexation probably had some impact, growth on the number of kids in this band here when everybody kind of merged together. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, when I first started, the band program was maybe 25, 30 students. And this past season, some 17 years later, we marched 60 this year on the field, which for a school of, they go by, during the competitions, they go by the previous year's enrollment. So we were going on the enrollment from last year, which was 286. So based on that enrollment, to have a band of 60, that's a pretty good number of kids in band in a small school.
And as Steffanie Seegmiller said, in the now 2 times she's been on this program, enrollment's going to continue to rise with the high number of kids you have at the junior high. So maybe you'll get even a few more band kids. So you'll be approaching 70 in a couple of years.
Yes,
not more.
You know, that's been one of the problems when we do have a competitive marching band program, and when you compete, a lot of times you're competing against because if you go to competitions that are based on band size, as you well know, right, they put you in a higher class. So sometimes we were competing against bands this year that were twice, maybe 3 times the enrollment of Arthur-Lovington Atwood-Hammond School. So we're competing against larger schools in some of these competitions. So that makes it tough sometimes.
All right, very good. As people know, with the high school band, it's not just one band. There's different, as the year progresses, you change from one band to the next. It starts off with marching band. Talk about the marching band.
Marching band this year was amazing. Put an exclamation point on my career. We started out. We competed in 4 competitions. We not only play at the football games, home football games, but we also do 4 competitions. We do a number of parades during the year. Of the 4 competitions, we performed at Eastern, where we finished 3rd in our class. Mm-hmm. We performed at Newton, where we finished 1st in class. We also received 1st in music, and we also received the Miss D Crowd Appeal Award, which is given to only one group during that entire competition. So that was a first for our group this year. In Robinson, which we competed in, we finished 3rd in class. And then Effingham was the crown jewel of the competitions this year. We finished 1st in general effect, 1st in visual effect, 1st in music. We finished 1st in class, and we also received the Grand Championship Award for Class 1A, 2A. Wow. So that was an amazing accomplishment. The band, as far as I know, has never received a Grand Championship Award. So that was the exclamation point on what was a really great year. Marching band is only 9 weeks. So after the first quarter, we're done. But the year is not over.
That's a pretty intense 9 weeks of marching band.
That's real intense.
Myself, there's a lot of work prep getting into that first show and with all the competitions. So it's a pretty hardcore 9 weeks.
It is. And I tell you what, the students, this is the best bunch of kids, best bunch of students, best bunch of young men and women I've ever worked with. They stayed focused. They worked hard. They did not let up. They knew the goals ahead of them, and they had great work ethic all year long. And we did not have one downturn. It was just one competition after another, and they kept that level, that high level of ability. They kept it right there the whole year. and I had a good staff to work with, so we were able to just have a great year because of all that was done.
So the Marching Knights of the 2017 season really set the standard moving forward. So congratulations on all your accolades there.
Thank you very much.
We're sitting in the band room, and you're going to be having a rehearsal here in just a couple of minutes. Talk about transitioning to the next part of the band season.
The band year is not over after 9 weeks. We have 3 more quarters to go.
Right.
We move right on into concert band. In fact, about a week to 10 days after the last marching band performance, we had to do a Veterans Day program. So we had to right away get right into the concert band part of the program. We do concert band, which is very active. We have several concerts throughout the year. We also do pep band. We play at 10 games during the pep band season. We usually split those between 5 girls games and 5 boys games. So we are very active. We also go to a state band competition, which is the IHSA sponsored event. Usually that's in the spring. And this year we have Little Okaw Valley Conference Band Festival, which is in the spring. So it's just a constant. There's always some goal, something to work toward throughout the year.
And as Steffanie talked in the previous segment, how she just loves the band, and how at the basketball games when the pep band plays, you can just see the total enthusiasm, and some people just are wowed by the group of kids. And having pep band experience myself, it takes a real attitude to be a part of that. And sometimes the pep band may be more exciting than the game.
Well, yeah, the pep band is the fun part. The kids can have fun with it, and that's how I treat pep band. Concert band is a little bit more rigid in your preparation, but pep band you can kind of let the kids do their own thing. You can kind of let the kids have their own slant on things, and let them have fun with it. And that's what we try to do with the pep band. And that carries over to the crowd, to the basketball team, to the spirit of the school.
You said you have many years of experience in the school district, and I want to ask you, from my own personal experience, one of the things that I've taken away from my years of band experience, not only a major appreciation for the music that we played, but I look back now at the camaraderie of playing with my fellow bandmates, whether it be in high school or at EIU. Can you talk about that aspect, about the social component of being in band?
It is a social component because they develop friendships along the way, and they maintain those friendships. And I try to maintain those friendships with the kids. Kids that graduate, I try to keep in touch with. And I as they're going out the door that last day, I always say, now just remember, if you come back, you got to bring your horn and play along. So I always invite the kids that have graduated to come back. So we try to maintain those friendships and that camaraderie. That was never so evident as last year when the band was able to go to Disney and march in the parade at Disney. Wow. That's when the friendships really were developed, is with that time away from home, when you were away from home and marching on that type of stage. It really, you see that in the kids.
And those trips are not possible every year, so when they do happen, they're very memorable and great those kids moving forward.
They create a lot of memories for the kids, and they also create a lot of memories for the thousands upon thousands of people who lined that parade route there at Disney and saw that band march along there and knew that we were from Arthur-Lovington, Atwood-Hammond High School. That created memories for those people that were there that day too. So
they know where this high school, where that band came from.
That's right.
Very good. Moving forward, Richard, and we appreciate your time here on City Spotlight. What are some goals you have for the band? You just mentioned a few minutes ago, one of the proudest moments of your band career was all the accolades that your marching band, the Marching Knights, got. What are goals moving forward for this band?
Well, the goals will be to continue to grow in number, and I see that on the horizon as something that will be a goal that will be able to be met. Of course, always continuing to raise the bar for success. You always want to raise that bar. You always want to have them reaching for that goal and being able then to reach that goal. So continuing to raise the bar of success with this group continuing to compete at a high level, and do everything we do is at a high level, and to keep that attitude instilled in them, because they're the ones that do it. And that's what I've told them all year long. It's your band. You're the one that does it. I'm just up there waving my arms. You're the one that has to play the music. I can't play the music for you. So, you know, that's kind of been my philosophy through the years too. It's the kids group. It's their band. It's something for them to be proud of. And I want them to be proud of what they do and their accomplishments. And I want the school and the community and everybody else that's associated, the parents. You can't do it without all of those people involved. And that's where it's at. So.
Fantastic. And I want to ask you one last question, Richard. I asked this to Steffanie in the previous segment. What is the role of this band to the community of Arthur and the surrounding communities?
I think it gives the community something to really be proud of. I hate to be redundant in that, but it is. It's a pride thing. I have people come up to me after concerts just saying, you know, we're so proud of this band and what you have done to get what I've gotten out of them. And they're the ones that have done it. You know, they're the ones that have played the instruments. They're the ones that do the work day in and day out. I have to be the leader, and I am the leader, and I show them the way, but they always come through. So there's a great bunch of kids.
It's been a pleasure having you on the program. Richard Moma, the band director here at Arthur-Lovington Atwood-Hammond High School. It's been a pleasure having you here on City Spotlight.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much. And that'll do it for this on-location episode here in Arthur at Arthur-Lovington Atwood-Hammond High School. We'll see you next time right here on City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com.